complexity is actually how you then use it. So the idea essentially is that it is a group of teachers planning, teaching, observing and evaluating a lesson, but doing it in a very sort of collaborative kind of way. And it is about attempting to gain a deeper understanding of student learning as a way of then beginning to develop pedagogy and beginning to really understand some of the complexities around student learning. And the whole process, if done really well, certainly in our opinion, is one that is quite slow. You take your time over it. You're not trying to meet a whole series of deadlines. The first time we ever used it in a secondary school, and we now use it with a whole host of schools all the way from primary all the way up to our own practice. I'm actually a practitioner of lesson study on master's students. So we actually use it in our own practice. The first time we did it in secondary school, we went through the process, and one of the first things one of the teachers said is, how long have we got? How many weeks have we got to complete this cycle? So we sort of said, as long as you want. As long as it's useful. It is better to spend longer and have a really, really good professional discussion than try and rush it to meet some kind of nominal deadline and lose the power of it. And you could just see this sort of, you know, midway through saying all of that, it was just becoming white noise. The whole idea that actually was up to them how long they spent doing it was just sort of really, really weird culture, it seemed to be. So it is very much a deep, slow process, and therefore is very much in contrast to this idea of sort of lesson dipping and sort of going in and just quickly grabbing some kind of idea of what's going on in lessons. It's the complete antithesis of that. There is a growing body of evidence. As far as we know, we've got the most complete database of all published lesson study research in the world. There is now something like 700 published papers and books on lesson study in English. There's a whole stack more in Japanese. So there is a lot of evidence around this, and there is a lot of evidence beginning to develop that it is a very powerful tool for professional learning. But on the other hand, there is very limited research within England. We've just had a chapter accepted for a big international handbook on action research